Hello guys, welcome on Java Learning Tips. Today we are going to talk about methods. Okay, so methods are one of the most important topics in Java, so let's start. What is a method? A method is like a function where you can put inside a set of instructions and you can reuse these methods when you need without rewriting all the instruction. Okay, so I made you an example here. Let's say that we want to create a method to add two numbers together. So don't worry if you don't know the keywords that I'm writing here, I will explain you later. So void and add to number, and inside here we have to write our code instruction. So we can declare a var, an int with 2 and another int with 3, and we can say just print in the console the addition between the two variables. Okay, we have write our function here, and if we want to use this function we have to write just this. Okay, so the name, and this code will be executed. In this case we have the main. I think you don't already know what is the main if you are following my video, because I've not explained yet. Let's explain now. So the main method is the method where the Java program starts. Okay, so if we don't write anything inside this, the program will not start. Okay, so let's try, and nothing happened. If we write here our method, because should be static, I think. Yeah, I will explain you later. And now let's go. Okay, 5, 3 plus 2, as you can see here, it's 5. So we can write the code and we can reuse all the code, just writing the name when we need. And we can make another example. We can say now add 4 number together. And here I will declare remember that you have to change the name, but you might think now why he did not give me an error if I declare the variable I and x time. Okay, so I've declared the variable here and I've declared the variable here because the variable has a scope. Okay, so a variable exists only inside the function where you write the variable. Okay, so if I write the variable here, the variable does not exist outside this function. Okay, in fact, if I try to get the variable I here, the variable will not exist. Let's try to assign another variable to the variable I, and the variable does not exist. We should create sorry, I've misspelled it. We should create another variable I, because here the variable does not exist. Variable exists just inside here and inside here. Okay, so outside the function where you have declared the variable does not exist. This is the variable scope. Okay, so now let's say that we want to add these 4 numbers together, and we can just say like this. Okay, perfect. And if I start now the program, this will not be executed because I need to call my function here in the main, okay? And now we can see the value right here. So this is basically what is a method, and we can now talk about these parentheses. Okay, so what these parentheses are for, we have also the parentheses here. So this parenthesis is to pass dynamically the value to the function. Okay, so let me explain better with an example here. Let's delete here. We don't need this anymore. It gives me an error because we don't have the variable, but we can declare the variable here, but we have just to initialize the variable. We don't have to assign any value, and now will give me an error here. Why? Because we need to add two int value. Okay, so he needs two int value that are the two int value that we have right here. Okay, so let's go step by step. Now I write true value here and no error anymore. So what does this mean? It means that we don't have to write statically the value here because sometimes we don't know what value we will pass to the function, so we can just write the value like this and we pass the value dynamically, and we need to use the method. Okay, so this is an example of a dynamically method or function are the same thing, and this is an example of a static function. Okay, so when I say static, I'm not talking about this keyword. I'm just talking about how the value are passed to the function. Okay, so this is static because the value are right here, and if we call the function we can't change this value. And this is dynamic because we pass the value like this, and we can pass all the value that we want when we call the function. Okay, so I can change the value and say 10 plus 3. Okay, and it will pass dynamically the value. But let's now talking about some keywords that you can see here. Especially we can talk about this void keyword that you can see here and here. What is this void keyword? Okay, so this method now, it's not return nothing. Okay, so the return type is void. What does this mean? So this void keyword just means that the function does not return any value. Okay, so when we pass the value to the function calculates the sum and print the result on the screen, but immediately after the function ends and does not save any data, because we see here the value because the function print the value in the console, but the function does not save nothing. Okay, so it just print the value here and nothing will be saved to the function. Okay, so when we call the function print in the console and the function ends and does not save any value. Okay, so but if we want to save the value, we have to say the type that we want to save. Okay, so in this case we are making the sum of these two numbers that are two int, so the result will be an int. So int is the return type. Now will give me an error because he need a return statement. This is another keyword that we need to know. So now we can say return and int plus I. So now with this keyword we are saving this value inside this function. Okay, so if now I write something like this, a here will be equal to 13, okay? A will be equal to 13. But here, if I try here to save the result of this function inside a variable, let's try. It's giving me an error because this is not an int, this is void, okay? So inside this function we don't have any number. If we change this with an int, and we can say here return and the value, now this variable is equal to 10, okay? So in this way, if we had an int here and a return statement, we are saying to the variable that we want to return an int value when we use the function, okay? So I hope this concept is clear. I'll do another lesson on methods later with more advanced concept, but for now that's all you need to know. So this video ends here. If you like my video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I also have a web page and an Instagram page. You can find all you need here in the description, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.